Buffalo will be Buffalo this time of the year. 24 hours ago, it was a white Thanksgiving, and crews were busy making sure we have football today. Plows were brought out, overtime, holiday hours extended, and we are ready for football. You're watching the MAC on ESPN. It is a cold and blustery Black Friday in Western New York as we welcome you to UB Stadium. Two teams with plenty to play for. 7-4 Ohio, ready to take on 5-6 Buffalo. And a pleasant good afternoon. Sean Kinney alongside Ryan Cavanaugh. We hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving holiday. Ryan, you know as well as anybody in this conference, it has been a wild race this year. We enter this final week of the regular season, 5 teams with a shot at Detroit. After Tuesday, that field sliced down to 4.
That's because Western Michigan won. They punched their ticket. They're going to be at Ford Field next weekend. The question is, who's going to join them? Heavy implications in tomorrow's game between Central Michigan and Toledo, but this afternoon you see Ohio right there. They're still in the hunt.
Well, the Bobcats right now, of the 4 remaining teams looking for Detroit, they are the long shot. ESPN Analytics has them right around 5%. But the good news for Ohio, there is a path forward.
Absolutely. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. However, Ohio and Coach Brian Smith want to channel their inner Lloyd Christmas, so you're saying there's a chance. It begins and ends with them winning here. They have to handle business, and then they're going to need some help from Central Michigan, from Northern Illinois, and from Ball State. The irony is, when I watch Ohio on film, they look like perhaps the best team in the MAC, and certainly they do it on the ground, leading the MAC in rushing.
On the opposite sideline for Buffalo, Pete Limbo and company not in the MAC title conversation. However, their postseason aspirations literally hang in the balance today.
They've got to get a win to be bowl eligible, and especially for the seniors, who doesn't want to play another game of football? When you look at Buffalo, they have 3 losses of 4 points or less. If the ball bounces a different way on any of those games, they would be in the conversation to play in Detroit. I'm looking at a really physical, tough football game this afternoon.
We were not sure what to expect this weekend. The forecasts were all over the board, but we settle in with a cold, windy afternoon. It looks like the snow has moved south. 34 degrees, but the wind will be a factor. Strong winds gusting as high as 20 miles per hour throughout the course of the day. And oh yeah, it feels like 12 degrees. A cold start to this Black Friday in the MAC.
I don't know about you, Sean, but I'm glad I'm in the booth and not out there, because it's cold, it's blustery.
Buffalo won the toss, they deferred, so we will get our first look at Ohio and this Bobcat offense. 31st meeting between these two programs. Ohio has had the edge over the past decade, a 6-4 advantage, and as Ryan laid out in the open, both of these teams with postseason aspirations. Ohio still visions of playing in Detroit next month, while for Buffalo, they want to keep their bowl stretch rolling. And the wind, a factor already. No kidding, a couple of nights ago when we flew in Wednesday night, they had hurricane-force winds rolling through the downtown Buffalo area right off of Lake Erie, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. South of this area really got impacted with a lot of snow. 2 to 3 inches in the northern sections of the city. They will hold the football and we are underway. Thanksgiving weekend from Western New York. And on the return, out past the 20, up to the 25-yard line to the 28. Bangura will return it, and here comes Parker Navarro. He's known as a running quarterback, but he's always been dangerous throwing the football up until recently. This is a trend they have to correct.
Yeah, he struggled throwing the football. What I look for Navarro and Scott Ishfording, the offensive coordinator, is some short passes early. It's like a basketball player watching the ball go in. You want Parker to see the completions, and that'll build his confidence.
Sun actually starting to crack through as we get ready for our first play from the line of scrimmage. The Bobcats from the far hash at the 30, and they're going to try to get Navarro going early as he launches deep downfield. A lot of contact, and Deion Crawford all tangled up with the intended target.
Yeah, Mason Williams, the tight end, was split out wide. And just as I say short passes, they put it up top right away.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And again, you got the big tight end out. Matchup problem when you put the 6'5" Mason Williams out there against Deion Crawford, the linebacker. Little handsy.
15 yards, a first down for Ohio at the 45. Parker Navarro, the 210-pound graduate student. And they will hand it off maybe to the hottest running back in the MAC right now in C.A. Bangura. 4 yards for Bangura, brought down by Crawford.
Bangura has just been outstanding. And what a story. Two-time MAC player of the All-MAC Conference performer. Transfers to Minnesota, comes back, and he has been on fire this season. As you take a look at those numbers.
Over 1,000 yards for the second time in his career. Went away one season to Minnesota before coming back for his senior go-around, and they welcome him back with open arms as he hop-skips through a hole over the right side. Keeps the legs churning, and he will be very close to a first down. Solomon Brown able to drag him down, but what we've seen from Bangura the past month, he does not go down off initial contact.
Coach Brian Smith complimented him, said his biggest improvement is his vision, and the ball's on the ground.
They go tempo. Navarro on a read option, lost it. Buffalo says they have it, and they do. Jalen McNair, Johnny on the spot for the Bulls, and this defense, which has been really good at creating havoc throughout the course of the year, generate the game's first turnover.
Yeah, I didn't see who knocked it out. It almost looked like it was just an unclean handoff in Bangura. Oh, so it was the transition. Parker Navarro on the RPO. He puts it in the stomach of Bangura. He decides to pull it. And that's the risk when you run zone read with the quarterback option to keep of the football just coming out of the hands. And that time Parker Navarro put the ball on the turf. Jalen McNair.
Well, it has to feel good if you're Buffalo to be on the other end of the turnover battle, because they have been on the wrong side of it the past few weeks, as they will hand the football off on first down to Terrence Shelton. Turnovers have just decimated Pete Limbo's squad this year, especially over the past month.
Yeah, usually whoever wins the turnover battle wins the football game. And you see there, Bowling Green was a clean game, but 3 games, 12 turnovers, that is not a winning recipe.
Taquan Roberson, the transfer they brought in this offseason from Kansas State. Second down, back-to-back calls for Shelton. Roberson, the 6', 200-pound senior, started his career at Penn State. Spent a couple of seasons at UConn, 1 year in Manhattan before arriving here in Western New York, and he has been prone to throw the interception. 8 interceptions over the last 4 games, and this is something that he knows he needs to clean up, especially with the vertical game downfield.
Absolutely. And as you get into the opponent's territory where they are now, it's even more critical to take care of the football.
Third down, Roberson to throw for the first time. Underneath, it is caught, but shy of the first down. Good job defensively by Thomason. Victor Snow, who has been the third down weapon all year, and an early decision for Pete Limbo, as it looks like he's going to keep the offense out there.
Great coverage by Thomason. He was draped all over Victor Snow.
Personnel changes. They're going to bring out the extra tight end. That is Evan King, who has checked into the game. 4th down and 2. Buffalo 9 of 23 on 4th downs this year. Big play early in this game. They will hand it off. Jet sweep, boundary side, nowhere to go for Snow. And the Ohio defense rises to the occasion. Buffalo unable to take advantage of the field position. An early turnover, a stop on down. Hard to believe it's the final week of the regular season. Here's our ABC Saturday College Football Rivalry Week triple header. Noon Eastern, number 12 Miami and Pitt square off, both with a chance to make the ACC championship game. Then 8th-ranked Oklahoma host LSU, looking for another college football playoff statement win. And we cap the day with the 90th Iron Bowl. The Tide look to cement their playoff hopes. All 3 games available on the ESPN app. Alabama, the edge, 51-37-1, but you never know this time of the year when rivals get together. Second offensive series for Ohio. They dodge a bullet after coughing it up on their first possession today. Williams, the tight end, they will play power football, slicing his way into plus territory. Bangura, and he will not go down. Look at Bangura just moving the pile all the way to the Buffalo 39. That's a gain of 13.
Talk about leg drive. Bangura's met by both Red Murdoch and Deion Crawford, the 2 linebackers. And take a look at the leg drive, moving the pile on his own. Bangura came to play.
6 100-yard games this year for Bangura. 4 of the last 5. He's topped the century mark. Expect a steady dose of number 5, the 5th-year senior who started his career at Ohio and had an opportunity following a strong 2023 season to try his luck at the Power 5 level. Went to Minnesota, just never got the carries or the workload he was hoping for, so he came back home to Ohio. And they are giving him the football right now. Steady dose of number 5 and a very manageable 3rd down. And Bangura talked about it. He said, sometimes the grass isn't always greener when you hit the portal and head to another spot.
Well, head coach Brian Smith was his running back coach back when he was originally at Ohio. And he said when he went to Minnesota, we kept our eye on him. We tracked him. He wanted to come back. And he checked with the team and the seniors and leaders, and they said he's a great player, he's a great person, we welcome him back.
Every single player said yes, bring him back into this program. They will go to him. He spins off the pile, and he was an arm tackle away from maybe taking it as he rumbles his way close to the 20. 11 more yards for Bangura, and this offensive line imposing their will early.
I'm starting to understand why they welcomed him back with open arms, Sean. I mean, look at the work Bangura's doing. Spin move, barely gets tripped up, but it all starts up front with the offensive line. They're working over to the right side there with Trent Allen and Jordan Jones.
Duncan Brune into the game for the first time, number 6, the young sophomore all the way from Germany, and he has been a spark plug off the bench. Navarro on a design draw. This is where he's deadly as he is cut down at the 12-yard line, brought down by McNair.
Parker Navarro is one of the best in the country at making defenders miss. Just very slippery, able to navigate his way through the middle of defenses and just has a knack for avoiding defenders.
Red zone trip for the Bobcats on the road. 2nd down and 4. Navarro taking his time, and it will be Brune with his first touch of the day. And Brune snowed under at the 11. Crawford, another tackle from his linebacker position. You know, it's interesting, Ryan. Coming into this game, we weren't sure what to expect from head coach Brian Smith. Would they get Navarro and this passing game going to build some confidence with him? He took the early initial shot deep. Ever since then, though, it's been run after run.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's primarily been Bangura. Although we just saw a designed run for Parker Navarro as well.
3rd down, Bangura back into the game, and he will be a decoy as they flip it out to the tight end, and tap dancing his way to 6. Untouched goes Mason Williams. Ohio on the board first.
The run sets up the pass, and you get such a heavy dose of C.A. Bangura that when Parker Navarro puts it in his stomach, everybody collapses. in the defense to the middle, and that allows Mason Williams to slip into the flat. Navarro puts it on him, and Ohio is struck first.
Third touchdown reception this year for Williams. Point after by David Dellenbach is up, and it is through. Mason Williams, a tight end, they would love to get the football to a little bit more. An early target, the early touchdown. Ohio fires the opening salvo. They are really high on Mason Williams, the redshirt sophomore, his third touchdown reception this year, and Brian Smith, year one, taking over this program, and he has been all over. His roots back in Hawaii as a player and a coach, and then he spent a couple of years in the Northwest, was part of the Auburn staff here at Ohio, and now it is his show. Year one, and he's done the job for the Bobcats.
Well, you mentioned Tim Albin. What Brian Smith told us this week is that he took Albin's offense, kept a lot of the terminology and how you get to different plays, and then he added in his own personal flavor from Hawaii's passing scheme. So it's a little bit of a unique, exotic type offense at times because he's able to merge different philosophies together.
Back in his playing days, he was a center when Hawaii was making famous the run and shoot and the fun offense to tune in each and every Saturday night after midnight if you're in these parts of the country.
Oh, some of my favorite games. The wife's asleep. Let's watch some Hawaii football and let's see if we can get to 50 passing attempts
by halftime. Fair catch by Shelton, so Buffalo will get their second offensive series. And yeah, they missed an opportunity, Ryan, in that first series. They took over the ball around midfield. Quick turnover generated by this defense. What do you expect on this drive?
If you remember the first two plays, they got the ball into the hands of Shelton and they were moving it and then just got behind schedule when they tried to throw it. And then the stretch play to Snow on fourth down. But I look for them to continue to work Shelton and perhaps even Al-J. Henderson.
In motion is Messiah Birch. They go empty with Roberson. 2 right, 3 left. Roberson on the drag, and this one knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Dukes. Nehemiah Dukes, the junior from Douglasville, Georgia.
He transferred in this year. He was a real surprise for this Ohio defensive line who was decimated by graduation in the portal. They brought Dukes in from Youngstown State, and he has been phenomenal.
Second down, and speaking of phenomenal, this run defense has been absolutely stifling this year. Pius Ojujogo able to make the stop.
When you get defensive tackles that can beat their offensive line and get this deep into the backfield, it's the fastest way to short circuit any run game. Messiah Birch had nowhere to go.
Pius, another player that they brought in. You talk about this D-line. They lost 7 players last year between graduation and the portal just on the defensive line alone. Roberson behind schedule, 3rd down. It's a 3-man rush. They keep a spy in there as well. Underneath, struggling ahead. 2nd and 3rd effort by Shelton out of the backfield, and they're going to mark him down at the 35, but that last-ditch stretch from the running back moves the chains.
Terrific balance, staying up, putting the hand down, getting that extra yard. Like you said, Sean, that's the difference between a tough decision on 4th and short in your own territory and a fresh set of downs. Nice job by Shelton. Great job by the offensive line, too. Very clean pocket for Roberson to go through his progressions and his reads.
Snow in motion on 1st down. Huge hole up the middle for Shelton, bruising his way to the 42, a gain of 7, knocked down by DJ Walker.
Take a look at the blocking here in the middle of the field. You got Jake Tim, the center, Carrington, and Doty are the guards, doing a nice job.
Right back with the inside zone scheme. Shelton very close to the 1st down, up to the 46-yard line. You talk about a 180 difference from a season ago to this year for Buffalo on the offensive line. They have just been decimated by injuries this year, really since the UConn game. 8 different combinations, and today they have the redshirt freshman Ty Davis at right tackle.
It's hard to have consistency. The offensive line is always 5 as 1. And it's hard to develop that consistency when the pieces are always moving. I just mentioned James Carrington, number 54. He's playing left guard. If Tim goes out, he plays center. So they've had to rely on a lot of versatility from the big guys up front.
A lot of experience in the center of this line with Brock, Tim, and Doty, a couple of 6th-year seniors, part of the group who were honored earlier today, senior day at Buffalo. After the completion to McMillan on 2nd down, not much. Ohio able to tighten up over the A-gap. Charlie Christopher, the good-looking freshman linebacker, in on the stop.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a Christopher jersey. I like watching this kid play so much. He is hard-nosed. Speaking of hard-nosed, take a look at Tyler Doty. That's like when you're like, what's an offensive lineman? You take a look at Tyler Doty and you're like, I got it. Looks just like that.
These guys are playing banged up, both Doty and Tim, but there was no way that they were going to miss today. 3rd down and short. 3rd and 3. Roberson with a clean pocket on the slant, and it's broken up. They were trying to find Snow, but Jalen Thomason got his hand in there. And this is the part of the field where it stalled last time, and they'll send out the punting unit now.
And Roberson was locked in on him the whole way. There was only one place he was going to throw the football, and that was to Victor Snow. It was not the right decision, though. Thomason with excellent coverage. And as a quarterback, you have to be able to avoid locking in on a certain person when you know, 3rd and short. You're like, I'm going to get it to Victor Snow. But if it's not there, you got to move off of him.
Dylan Drennan, one of the top punters in the MAC. A little bit too much muscle on this kick as it reaches the end zone for the touchback. 47 yards on the punt. Ohio leading early here at Buffalo. Ohio used to having a little Thanksgiving and football all intertwined on the same weekend. One of the traditions that they have recently established, enjoying a team meal with family at the Eclipse back home in Athens.
Yeah, they hit the Eclipse restaurant in Athens, then they get on a flight and they come out here, and as you mentioned, it's become a holiday tradition. And it's always good to have the meal at home, at a restaurant you're comfortable with. They know the team, they know Brian Smith, of course, and despite being away from their families on the holiday, he was really upbeat this week and excited about this opportunity to compete.
Ohio with the early 7-0 lead as they start from their own 20-yard line. Everything has been on the ground so far. Navarro will keep that trend. Oh, at the last second, tried to dump it off to his tight end. He was really close to crossing the line of scrimmage, and then he drop stepped back and tried to loft it to the big sophomore.
As I'm watching that, I'm wondering, are you allowed to go back? I know you can't, but he was clearly across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's what, as we called it initially. Take a look, the 20-yard line. Yeah, he's good 2 yards past it.
Yeah, and I'm obviously being facetious, but it looked like he tried to go back behind the line of scrimmage, hoping nobody would notice that he was past the sticks, but the officials caught it. And that's your RPO, but it's based off of first an option with the running back, and then Navarro can keep it or he could throw it.
There will be no foul for an eligible player downfield because there was an illegal forward pass. Illegal forward pass, offense number 7. There's a 5-yard penalty for the spot where the ball was thrown. The down will count. It's second down.
Billy D. Williams sorting out the 2 penalties for Ohio. Now, we were talking with Brian Smith, talking about midweek action, and he said, at first I wasn't sure what to think of it, but the more I got into the groove and the scheduling, and he really has found his rhythm with this team. They will work out on Fridays when they slide into midweek games, and then they have a quick turnaround Saturday morning with a practice, and then the guys are free to enjoy college football really from noon on.
Yeah, it's certainly a unique schedule. It has its pluses and minuses. You kind of lose track of what day it is, because your normal Tuesday, Wednesday practices are on the weekends.
Navarro after the penalty, keeping his eyes downfield. Another flag is thrown. This pass is caught by Rodney Harris. But a flag is down. Harris up to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 17, but let's see if it sticks.
Holding off defense number 15. That penalty is declined, the result of the play. First down.
Savion Brown holding one of the receivers downfield. So just like that, Ohio will take it up to the 32, and they will have a fresh set of downs.
Nice job by Navarro to create time and give his receivers an opportunity to get open downfield by just scrambling and moving down the line of scrimmage.
Second penalty this afternoon for Buffalo. Navarro new life, 1st and 10 with the pistol look. 4-man front for Buffalo. Navarro looking right, nothing open, pocket collapsing, being chased out of there. Still keeps his eyes downfield. Good job by the Buffalo secondary. Nothing open for Navarro, and a smart play by the veteran quarterback not to force it.
You're looking at Junior Poyser, who has been terrific as a defensive lineman. This year he has improved on his pass rushing. That time chasing Navarro, a lot of effort from Junior, 6'1", 310, chasing a quarterback. Did a nice job keeping outside leverage, and Parker Navarro had to go wide to get outside of him, and then Murdoch was able to come up and support to usher Navarro out of bounds.
Pretty high praise from Joe Bowen, the defensive coordinator, when talking about Poyser, the most improved player since spring ball, trying to stretch it wide, but chased down. Beautiful job by Red Murdoch, and not wearing his normal number 2 jersey, which has become a trademark the past couple of years for how good he has played. He, in his final game, will wear the legacy number 41, recognizing Solomon Jackson, who passed away nearly 10 years ago, a tradition that Buffalo bestows on an individual player each and every game.
Personally, I got to tell you, when I found out he was wearing 41 today, nothing could be more fitting because of how much Red Murdoch has given to this program and how much the program means to him.
One of the top linebackers in all of college football. Bright future. 3rd down and 9. Navarro will look. He will throw, and a knuckleball uncorked. Falls at the feet of Chase Hendricks, and the Bobcats to send out the punting unit.
I'm not sure who the intended receiver was there. He had Hendricks deep and another receiver running an out, and he threw it. We'll get a perfect look at it here, but he just throws it in the middle of nowhere. And it didn't look like it slipped out of his hand either. Just an errant pass.
Victor Snow awaiting the punt. Here they come. Line drive kick with the swirling wind. Snow will back everybody away from it as it comes to a rest at the 28. It is a punt of 38 yards. Kick off your Week 13 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game all the way up to kickoff. The winds are howling here in Buffalo on this Black Friday. So great to have you with us after your Thanksgiving feast. No better place than the old recliner, leftover turkey, mashed potatoes. Pete Limbo hoping his offense can get something generated. Slow start for Roberson out of the gate. 3 of 5, just 17 yards. Snow in motion. Roberson will keep it. This has been a part of the game where Buffalo has been limited a little bit just because of an early season injury. Roberson with a high ankle sprain early in the year. An offensive coordinator, Dave Patno, told us they just haven't been able to unleash him like they normally would be able to.
The difficulty with an injury, especially to a quarterback or a skill player, to one of your legs, is you just don't have time to fully recover and get better. So Roberson's staying on the field because he's so important to the offense, but without rest, he can never get back to 100%, so he has been limited in regard to running the football.
Third different tailback we've seen in this first quarter. Al-Jay Henderson coming off a 1,000-yard season a year ago. Just has not found the rhythm that he enjoyed during his junior year, and he has put the ball on the carpet a couple of times in recent weeks, allowing opportunities to both Terrence Shelton and, as we saw earlier, Messiah Birch. It's a deep running back room. Here come the linebackers on a blitz. It's picked up. Roberson with some time. Now he's going to try to dart his way to the first down, and he will get there. Roberson scrambling up to the 40. Credit this offensive line with the blitz pickup.
This offensive line for Buffalo has been very good, both in the run and the pass protection. And nice job by Roberson realizing he had a lane, knew down and distance, and was able to get the first down yardage.
First down, Roberson with some air to it. McMillan finding the hole in the zone downfield. Biggest gain today for Buffalo in this first quarter.
You got to cover two, and when you have that, the outside guy running in, you just have to fit it in between the corner and the safety coming over. Look at all the space there for McMillan. Nice pass by Roberson. Nick McMillan, 5 consecutive 100-yard games.
22 yards on this one. However, not on the same page with Roberson. Those two trying to connect again. And quite a season for McMillan, as you talked about. 5 straight 100-yard games. That ties a program record. Go back through the long history of Buffalo football. No receiver has ever strung 6 consecutive 100-yard efforts together. Will McMillan be that guy? Second down, Henderson trying to scoot it to the outside, and a good open field tackle is made by Tank Pearson.
Take a look at the pursuit of this Bobcat defense. Only one team this year has had a player run for over 100 yards against the Bobcats. That was Bo Jackson for Ohio State, and he only got 109. So they really are very solid against the run, coming up in run support with their back half.
The first quarter.
1 quarter in the books from Buffalo. Ohio with the lead. both these teams, plenty to play for. Bobcats by 7 on this Black Friday from Western New York. One of those days where you want to bundle up here in Buffalo. Thanksgiving weekend, Pete Limbo leading his Bulls into a huge Thanksgiving feast. Great opportunity to bond together and come together as a family. It's been a long season when you look at the two-a-days back during the summer workouts. Now here you are, the regular season finale. And you know, Ryan, every team in America wants something to play for this final weekend of November, and Buffalo playing for their postseason survival today.
Yeah, it's so important. You know, obviously the seniors, they want to get that extra game in. They do not want this to be the last football game that they play. They'd rather probably go where they were last year, Bahamas.
That'd be all right. Third down, Roberson dropped the football, and he pounces on it, but that's a loss and a fourth down. Costly mistake. Roberson tried to pull it back on the RPO.
Same thing with Shelton. You know, it's really about the mechanics of putting the ball in the stomach of a running back. And the quarterback is responsible for taking that out, because if you leave it, the running back has to take the football. So a lot of times that mesh point creates a fumble or an opportunity to put the ball on the ground. We've seen both teams now do it for that exact same reason.
Drennan on the punt, line drive kick, angled toward the near side, and one of the best in the MAC gets the job done again. 31 yards on the punt by Drennan. He will pin Ohio deep. And you talk about the sunshine, you talk about the crystal clear waters. Let's push the rewind button. We all need a little Bahamas right now, don't we? Take a look at this. Buffalo having some fun in preparation of the Bahamas Bowl a year ago. Fun in the sand. Oh, yeah, interacting with the Dolphins. That's what bowl season's all about.
That's right. Somebody once told me the Chargers will never win the Super Bowl because the weather's too nice. You know, there's too many things to do outside. And I just look at that and you think about the Bahamas Bowl, and it's like, how do you get ready to play a football game when you have all those other beautiful distractions?
We're starting position of the day, and bang, right off the bat. First down, Kobe Stewart. Hello, he met Bangura, and Stewart won that battle. Take a look at what these two teams, sure, they have a lot of fun, but when they show up for their game, they win. Miami and Buffalo perfect over their last 10 bowl appearances. Miami has won 6 straight. Buffalo has won their last 4.
And you just saw Brian Smith. His first game as the head man for Ohio was last year in the bowl, and he was victorious.
Second down and 9. Navarro, safe play call, dumps it off into the flat. Bangura with the catch. He's become a much better receiver this year, and he talked about it when you asked him, where have you improved from the time you left Ohio to coming back? And he said he spent a ton of time with his hands becoming a better receiver out of the backfield.
And it shows, much improved. And if you could get Bangura out on the edge, like right there, and his ability to break tackles, you get him lined up against some smaller secondary people. Those are the matchups you're looking for Ohio.
It's a big down. This game really turning into a field position battle in the tough weather elements. Third down and 2. Put Williams in motion. They move the pocket that way for Navarro. He will shovel it off, and it's intercepted. Navarro with an ill-advised decision, picked off by the freshman Kobe Blackwell, and Navarro is down.
I think you described this perfect. Ill-advised. Sometimes as a quarterback, when it's not there, I know he wants to make something happen, but you just have to eat it. And that was a sideways flip that had no chance of getting to Mason Williams. And Williams was covered all the way anyways. Blackwell able to pick it off, but that was frankly a gift for Blackwell.
Redshirt freshman Blackwell has been one of the top defenders this year in the back end for the Bulls. And yeah, Christmas still a ways away, but that was gift wrap to the youngster from Buford, Georgia. And now Roberson in great position on first down, and there is absolutely nothing. One-on-one talk, Navarro with his head coach, Brian Smith. And this is a player, when you look at Navarro, the MVP of the MAC championship, so many accolades the past 2 years as Ohio's starting quarterback. Uncharacteristic mistakes.
He's played so much good football here at Ohio. Last couple weeks, they have not been throwing Navarro, and saw mental error right there.
Second down, Roberson hangs in there. He will lob it back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Their big receiver, the 6'4" Chance Morrow.
Morrow gets lost behind the defense on the back edge of the end zone. Roberson with a really nice touch pass to the big fella. 6'4" target is Morrow, and Roberson put it up where only he could catch it.
He had a touchdown catch wiped out last week, a diving grab in the back of the end zone, but no denying Chance Morrow today. Transfer from Louisville in his 3rd year at Buffalo. Jack Howes with the point after, and a little complimentary football from the Bulls. Blackwell gets the takeaway, and then Roberson finishes it. The touchdown pass to Chance Morrow. Second touchdown catch of the year for Morrow. Buffalo has the equalizer. Here's our Week 13 Monday Night Football matchup. Drake May and the AFC leading Patriots, winners of 9 straight, host Brian Burns and the Giants. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app with Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with the NFL Live Show at 3 Eastern, then Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern. You talk about turnarounds this year. How about the job for New England? 4-13 a year ago, riding the 9-game win streak, and they are a Super Bowl contender without a doubt. Nick Polis getting loose, the backup to Parker Navarro, and we saw Navarro get jarred on that last play, so you start to wonder a little bit if not only the interception costly, but maybe sustaining an injury on that little shovel flip. So we'll wait to see where Ohio goes with it. Williams, one of the upbacks on the return, and he will get pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Good to see Navarro in the center of the huddle. Team captain for the 2nd straight year, and you go back to the last play and the shot that he took from Kobe Stewart at the end, just landing awkwardly on a cold day.
Well, and it was the block after the fact on the interception, I think, that jarred him. But anytime you lose your feet, you get hit when you're in the air, it always presents an opportunity to land awkwardly.
That was Mitchell Gonzer who saw the opportunity to get a clean block in on the quarterback. So Navarro on 1st down is going to throw, pressure right away, steps up, and this one sails incomplete. Looking for the crossing pattern from Harris, but the play really blown up early.
Nice job by the defensive front of Buffalo to create some havoc and speed Parker Navarro up. It'll be interesting to see if there's any difference in Navarro from after that hit and how he is throwing the football. That pass, again, while rushed, well overthrown.
Mentioned the 2 tackles over the football. Cornell Evans, Junior Poyser. We'll see a lot of George Wallow. Those guys have all played a lot of football for Buffalo. Taking a deep shot. Hendricks has a step, and it's just beyond his arms. Incomplete. Last-second recovery by Miles Greer when it looked like just maybe Hendricks had a step on him. There are flags down at the line of scrimmage.
Waiting for the official's call here, but Hendricks did a nice job of getting behind Greer. And if that ball is thrown further, Hendricks might be in the end zone celebrating a touchdown.
Ineligible receiver downfield, offense. That penalty's decline. Result of the play, 3rd down.
This is a call you will see throughout the course of a game from Ohio with a running quarterback like Navarro, and the play selection, as it is tough for an offensive lineman to know when your quarterback's going to take off.
It's always a risk when you have a running quarterback and someone as mobile as Navarro. And I think it's so difficult for offensive linemen to block in those scenarios because you never know how the pocket is going to move because your quarterback is so active.
Ohio 2 of 5 on 3rd downs today. They need to get it to the 46. See if Buffalo brings pressure. They will. It's a design run by Navarro, trying to wheel his way outside, angling past the 40, and then he is hit at the 42 by Red Murdoch.
It looked for a minute if Navarro put his foot in the ground and got north and south, he could have pushed it closer to the chains. But you're going to see just shortly here, he actually turns to the right and runs sideways. Now, obviously, Murdoch is coming from the inside in pursuit, but when you start going east and west, generally it's not the best way to get to the 1st down sticks.
Defensive coordinator Joe Bowen said we must contain, and here's a fake, and there is all sorts of room. Ohio into the bag of tricks. Inside the 10, down to the 9. Jake Bruno, the number 2 tight end, and it's special teams for the Bobcats and head coach Brian Smith.
Bruno was the up back. They have 3 of them, and he was furthest to the right. They direct snapped it to him, and he followed the other 2 upbacks across to the left of the formation. There is nobody there. Look at the big fella rumble.
49 yards on the perfectly timed trick play from Brian Smith. And just like that, a jolt of momentum on the Ohio sideline. They have it first down. They will keep it with Navarro. Navarro turning on his jets near the pylon, knocked out of bounds at the 1 by Miles Greer.
They ran a similar play that they've done before where Williams goes into the flat. Navarro has the option to throw it to him or keep it, and the defender covering Williams had to turn his back and stay with him, which opened up some green space for Navarro, and he almost hits the pylon.
2nd and goal, Bangura, the tailback. Navarro getting a clean look at what his defense is showing. He will hand it off, and there goes Bangura. Touchdown, Bobcats. C.A. Bangura caps it off, and again, the fake punt setting up Ohio in business.
Easy work for this offensive line, just leaning on Buffalo. Bangura right off the right side into the end zone. It's his 14th rushing touchdown. Look at the job by that O-line. Bangura always does a nice job of running behind his pads, getting low.
David Dellenbach on for the point after. The kicking game has been a little exciting, to say the least, this year for Ohio, but he drills it. The fake punt sets up the touchdown run. Bangura, the 1-yard plunge. Ohio back out in front.
We're going to take a look at this fake punt, the element of surprise, but the first thing to look at is how Buffalo went after the punt. 2 guys break inside. You have to keep outside leverage, and then you have the runners and Jake Bruno right through here, and you could see just how it develops because of what Buffalo did. And there's a massive opening there, Sean, for Bruno, and I like in open field how he makes the punt returner miss to get extra yardage.
Last game of the season, you're playing for a possible spot in the MAC championship in Detroit next month. A pretty good play call. This is the time you go a little bit deeper in the playbook, reaching into the bag of tricks, and it worked out perfectly for Coach Brian Smith and Ohio. Blustery day, winds as strong as 20 to 25 miles per hour. A westerly wind today, making life really difficult for the kickers. Temperature at 34 degrees, but with the strong winds and the wind chill, it It's more like 12 degrees down on the field, and days like today, defense always has a slight advantage. On the return, Shelton takes it out past the 30 up to the 32-yard line. So Ryan, you look at this Buffalo team, looked like they were going to get a stop. Ohio comes up with the momentum play. What's Roberson and this offense need to do to get that rhythm and momentum back on their side?
Yeah, I think they want to establish the run. They've been most successful when they're running it on first, second down, staying ahead of the chains, and that allows Roberson to throw the football. Pretty accurate today, 5 of 8, but they've been very conservative with their passing game.
As the touchdown pass to Morrow as they start shop at the 32. 2 running backs in there. They will hand it off, trying to test the waters over the right side. Austin Mitchell, first one to greet Shelton. Mitchell, the redshirt sophomore, really played well a couple of games ago against Western Michigan. A young guy they are bringing along on a very inexperienced defensive front line. Second down, Roberson with a high throw as he zips it through the hands of Josiah Gathings.
Roberson's pass intended for Josiah Gathings.
And we take a look at Gathings as the third option on this team behind McMillan and Snow. That tells you it's a little bit behind him. That's a tough ball to catch. But that tells you how deep this receiving room is, because Gathings is a #1 type guy for a lot of teams. But with McMillan and Snow, he's become the third option.
Second stint in the MAC for Gathings, who started his career at Akron, went to UConn, and reported to Buffalo really late in the summer. And Pete Limbo says he's really just starting to find his traction in this offense, and he has become a reliable weapon for Roberson. Third down, Roberson trying to move around, nearly stumbles out of the chute, fires along the far side, incomplete. He was looking for his receiver that time, and nobody open downfield, and it's a quick 3 and out for Buffalo.
Nice job by the Bobcats in coverage, locking up the receivers. And Roberson just had to throw it to the coaches for Ohio on the sidelines. Nobody was able to get open, even as Roberson bought some extra time for himself.
Third punt of the day for Drennan. Hendricks awaiting the kick back around his 20. With that wind behind him, it's a line drive kick. Hendricks will let this one bounce, and Buffalo will take this. 58 yards for the MAC leader in punting this year, Dylan Drennan. Ohio in a tight one, lead it by 7. Snowfall on the ground here in western New York. Ohio out in front 14-7. It's the final week of the regular season. Here's our ABC Saturday College Football Rivalry Week triple header. Noon Eastern. Let's start in the ACC. 12th ranked Miami and Pitt square off, both with a chance to make the ACC championship game. Then 8th ranked Oklahoma host LSU, looking for another college football playoff statement win. And we cap the day off with the 90th edition of the Iron Bowl. Tide looking to cement their playoff hopes. All three games available on the ESPN app. Parker Navarro and Ohio from their own 14-yard line, and they will hand the ball off, and this is Duncan Brune with it as Brune takes it up to the 19.
Duncan Brune takes the handoff.
Talking this week with the coaches about if it's predetermined, planned, how do you decide when you go to Duncan Brune and give Bangura a break? And generally, the first two series are Bangura, and then Brune comes in. Bangura has been carrying the mail for the majority of this game, though, and they'll do that riding the hot hand, and Bangura has certainly been that.
Top rushing attack in the MAC, getting the job done in this first half. 121 yards on the ground. Second down from the 19, and this will be Navarro on a keeper over the left side, and Navarro takes it all the way to the 30. That's a gain of 11 and a first down.
That'll be a first down, Ohio.
Journey of Parker Navarro, a two-year starter, fourth year, came on the scene in the bowl game back in 2023, beat Georgia Southern, and this has been his show ever since. Led the Bobcats to the MAC title last year. Another bowl win and opportunity. If they get a little help, they take care of business today, a win today, and then they need some help tomorrow, a chance to play in the MAC championship game for the second straight year. Chase Hendricks gets his first touch. Hendricks with the catch, up ahead to the 40.
Navarro has over 4,700 passing yards. He's number 6. There it is, number 6 in program history. He's also the first quarterback in program history to record over 2,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in the same season. That was last year.
And quite a journey. His high school days, he's an Arizona kid, grew up in Tempe, started his career at UCF, sat behind Dylan Gabriel for a season before making his way to Athens, Ohio. First down from the 40. Looked like he wanted to go deep. Checks down at the last second and unable to make the juggling catch. It was jarred free by Blackwell. He was looking for Rodney Harris.
Going back to Navarro this week, there was some news as he asked to have a 7th year. The NCAA, that's still pending. Nice ball. That's the toughest throw I think there is in football. It's from the far hash, comeback route to the sideline. Navarro with the arm strength to get it there. Harris unable to hang on.
Mentioned those numbers last year. First Ohio quarterback ever to rush for 1,000 and throw for 2,000 in the same season. He is a dual threat in all caps. Defensive coordinators' nightmares, and this is a big reason why. You see what he can do with his feet. Torpedoing all the way into plus territory to the 45, a gain of 15, and don't look now, but a little offensive flow to this Bobcat offense late in this first half.
Yeah, what happens, what's most dangerous about Navarro, especially if you're playing man-to-man, it's not the design runs, it's the creativity on drop-back passing, and that's what he did there. He saw a lane, he saw a crease, defensive backs are bailing, and he took advantage of it.
7 carries, 32 yards for Navarro in this first half. They have taken it onto the Buffalo side of the field as we approach 6 minutes to go in this second quarter. Play clock down to 2. They will hand the ball off, and untouched goes Brune into the second wave. Duncan Brune, who they brought over from Cologne, Germany, and international waters for Brune, and he has certainly made an impact this year.
The coaches talk about how intelligent he is. And his athleticism was natural, as his mom was an Olympic swimmer. And even from Germany, Brune is a real student of the game, always asking questions and trying to learn more about what he needs to do. He's also the fastest player on the offense.
That's what happens when you train the offseason with the German bobsled team. Taking a shot toward the end zone, and it's broken up, incomplete. Again, Blackwell, the coverage. They were looking for Hendricks, and the redshirt freshman, Kobe Blackwell, down on the turf in pain.
Officials timeout for defensive injury.
Blackwell has played so well this year, has the interception earlier in this game, and you can see the frustration all tied up with Hendricks.
Yeah, he just steps actually on the thigh of Hendricks, and most likely that's rolling something. But you're going to see his foot here as the ball comes down. He actually steps on the left thigh right there, and the ankle gets twisted.
Hate to see that. Injury timeout. This is a talented young defender for Buffalo. So the medical team around Kobe Blackwell. You look at this first half, and as we take one more look, and Hendricks trying to get free. Buffalo secondary has done a nice job containing one of the top receivers in the MAC, but it's the landing by Blackwell with his left ankle right there. You just hate to see that.
And it's just a fluke play.
It really is.
You know, there's nothing you could do to prevent that. You're looking at the ball. You know, I don't know that I've ever seen that happen before, and I've watched a lot of football in my life, but to actually land your foot on a receiver's thigh, and then when it hits the turf, it gets twisted. And Blackwell was praised this week for his consistency. And defensive coordinator Joe Bowen said that he plays off the ball and covering receivers as well as anybody's ever been around.
It was a pretty deep secondary to start this season, but they've taken a couple of injuries. You have Marquise Cooper, Oliver Bridges, Keontez Bradley on the opposite side, the starter, and then Blackwell really has carved his niche in the secondary, and like you described, Joe Bowen really high on him and his future, but tough luck here as he will be helped off the field. This is a big blow for Buffalo today as, again, a bowl game, their aspirations on the line. They must win to go bowling next month.
At the start of the season, Buffalo was playing a lot of guys at cornerback, and then Keontez Bradley and this guy, Kobe Blackwell, took over, and they have primarily been the two corners. So while they have other corners who have played earlier in the year, for the most part, it's been Bradley and Blackwell recently.
Buffalo defense coming into this afternoon. They are one of the best at generating pressure, and a lot of that is because of the back end where they can cover guys. And Blackwell, one of the top cover corners, into the medical tent he goes. Parker Navarro looking at a third down. You wonder if this is 4-down territory as well for Brian Smith. They need to get it to the 35. Third down and 4. Bruno, the tight end, in motion. He'll be the lead blocker for Duncan Brune, and this will be really close.
Yeah, the side officials look like they're spotting it just short of the first down yardage. Powerful run by Brune.
So they mark him just short, 4th and inches. Brune's numbers this year, second year with the program, and having somewhat of a breakout campaign behind Bangura. Navarro will put Hendricks in motion. They will hand the ball to the quarterback, and there goes Navarro, slipping free from 1, a foot race to the 10, finally steps out of bounds. 25 yards, Navarro reading the defense beautifully. Ohio 1st and goal.
Look at the ball fake by Parker Navarro. Everybody thought it was going to Brune, and he reads keep. And you see that defensive end crashes down, and that's what tells him to keep the football And here's that elusiveness. See that defensive end crashing down on Brune. That's a keep read for a quarterback. Nice job of Parker Navarro.
Solomon Brown had a chance to bring him down, could not. All of a sudden, Navarro up to 73 yards in this first half, and Ohio knocking on the doorstep. Like somebody flinched up front.
Full start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's the graduate student they brought in this offseason from Dartmouth, and Nick Marinaro, and he has played so well this year. He was one of the glue guys of the offensive line. He arrived in summer. He arrived late. He went through the graduation ceremony at Dartmouth in May and showed up in June. And, man, he's been a fixture in the center of this offense.
Coach Smith compliments him for how intelligent he is.
Bangura back in there on first down. Navarro looking toward the end zone, puts it up into double coverage, and it's caught. His favorite target, Chase Hendricks, with the toe drag. Touchdown, Ohio. And that one had to feel really good for Parker Navarro.
He's been waiting for that one, and what I like about Navarro on this is the quiet feet. And quiet feet, quiet mind. He allows the play to develop. He throws it up to Chase Hendricks, and it's a perfect pass. But look at him being comfortable in the pocket, surveys it, and that's a tough throw to make, just over top of the defender. There was a trail defender as well, and perfect pass for Parker Navarro, and that's a little glimpse at what he's capable of doing in the passing game.
Point after is up and through, and Ohio, their longest drive of the day, 86 yards as we go back to the touchdown. Navarro to Hendricks, and this has been a duo that really has been connecting all year up until the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's nothing special about this other than the fact that the route was not initially open, and Hendricks, that slight move to create open space, and Parker Navarro throws him open. Chase Hendricks was the leading receiver in the MAC until about 3 weeks ago. He's gone mostly quiet since then. A lot of that is because of the attention he gets defensively. They'll have a bracket on him, double coverage, and because of how good he is, defenses have a game plan to take him away. You can only keep a player like Hendricks down for so long, though, Sean.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. And with Hendricks, he had 57 receptions in the first 8 games. He's had only 5 catches over the past 3 weeks. 2 catches in this first half, and that last one goes for 6. Ohio stretching to their largest lead, up 21-7. Short kick gets caught up in that wind, and charging up hard was Shelton, makes a good catch, and then Shelton with the return out past the 40 to the 41-yard line, and you saw the Buffalo wind effect there right off Lake Erie. Strong winds swirling inside UB Stadium, and boy, you got to be careful on special teams.
So difficult to catch punts and kicks in this wind. Credit Terrence Shelton for maintaining his balance after coming up to catch that football. You know, I always, as a former quarterback, I look at that flag and it kind of gives me PTSD to try to throw in that sort of wind. But then I think about kick and punt returners, and I think of kickers in the cold hitting it with their foot. And I'm like, maybe I didn't have it so bad.
Certainly not a fun day to be in those special teams, whether you're a kicker or return man, but you get used to it in the MAC. And now for Roberson and this offense, this is a key drive. Late in the first half, a little more than 3 minutes to go. Really trying to get back on track since the fake punt. A couple of touches to Lamar Sperling, and this is what he does best. He's a different type of running back from Henderson and Shelton. This is a guy that can make some magic in space.
Lamar Sperling was Mr. Ohio, the football player of the year from Akron a couple of years ago, and this is what he brings to the table. It's a jitterbug style. He can make people miss, and he can turn on the jets if he gets into the open field.
First down, and it looked like the receiver for Buffalo came out of his stance at the bottom of the screen.
Full start. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
It was McMillan, a little bit too antsy.
You know, offensive coordinators hate it when there's an offsides penalty, but especially when it's a wide receiver.
Trying to set up the screen to the opposite side after the penalty, and it is snipped out beautifully by Ohio. That was Ricky Hyatt in there.
Buffalo working backwards.
Approaching the 2-minute timeout. Buffalo with all 3 of their timeouts. Need to get it to the 37. 2nd down. They swing it out, making the catch, but again, right off receiving the football, count them up. Bobcats all around the tailback Sperling. First one in there was Jalen Thomason, and that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Ohio 14 unanswered on the road. Both of these teams playing for postseason possibilities. The Bobcats know they're heading to a bowl game, but they want the MAC championship. Buffalo still hoping to get the elusive win number 6. While I'm eating Chinese in my hotel room on Thanksgiving night, our crew know where to go. Elmo's. Take a look at this feast on Thanksgiving night. You know, Buffalo, the home of the Buffalo wings. So when you want wings, you come to Buffalo, and they taste extra special with some French fries. And take a look at that, Ryan. That has your name all over it.
How long is halftime? Do you think I can run out and grab one of those? It's making me hungry.
We told the crew, hold that until the 4th quarter when we get a little bit closer to being home tonight.
There you go.
3rd down, big play here. 3rd and 15, Roberson sacked for the first time. It's a huge loss all the way back to the 35-yard line. Jay Crable, the redshirt sophomore, his 6th sack of the year.
All season, they expected Jay Crable to be a 3rd down guy.
Ohio, they're first. It'll be 30 seconds and left.
Be a 3rd down guy because he's so good at rushing the passer. A very athletic player, played some quarterback in high school along with defensive end and tight end. Father, Sean Crable, we just mentioned the New England Patriots. He went to Michigan and then played for the New England Patriots. So a lot of good lineage for Jay Crable.
He had a monster game this year against Bowling Green, 3 sacks, forced a fumble, his 3rd year, first-year starter. Both he and Lukeman have really stepped up at the 2 end positions. Ohio taking advantage of the sack. They want the football one more time, utilizing a timeout. Short kick here by Drennan. This one will take a fortuitous bounce for Buffalo as it slowly trickles out of bounds at the 21. 41 yards on the punt, and the Bulls have to be really careful now. Ohio already up a couple of scores, and with 2 timeouts, plenty of time for Navarro and this offense to work even in the difficult weather conditions today.
This feels like a possession that could make or break this game for Buffalo right now. All the momentum is on the side of Ohio. Their offense is moving the ball, and Coach Pete Lembo has to figure out how to stop them and get into the locker room and regroup for the second half.
240 yards of offense today for Ohio, and the MAC's leading rushing team getting their yards on the ground. Navarro pulls it back, and he wants the home run ball deep downfield. Hendricks with a step makes the catch. Beat the defender, McNair, and Navarro and Hendricks look like they're back on the same page.
Well, this is what they did so successfully for those first 8 games of the season, and this is at least the second time that Chase Hendricks has gotten behind the defense. And again, if Parker Navarro lets this one go, Hendricks runs underneath it, and he's still going.
First down from the 37. Navarro rolls right, now throws on the run, pass is caught. Catch made by Caleb Gossett, his first catch. Solomon Brown the coverage. Ohio will crank it up a couple of notches. Bobcats and their 2-minute offense, and they are in good shape. Just like that, 2 pass plays, and they've taken it to the Buffalo 23. Looking at another red zone trip. Navarro wanted to go right, nothing there. Now puts on the brakes, and here comes Buffalo, and they're able to get to him for the first time. Red Murdoch. Seems like all year when this defense has needed a spark, a big play, they have turned to Mr. Murdoch.
And to the right of your screen, Red Murdoch is spying on Navarro. And here you see him coming up. He's just waiting patiently for that creative, break-the-pocket type run from Parker Navarro that has hurt Ohio. So now Murdoch is just staying in the middle of the defense and making sure Navarro doesn't hurt him in that fashion. Red Murdoch, of course, famously this year set the record for the most forced fumbles in the history of NCAA football. Yeah, see, look at number 41 to the right side of your screen, and just waiting patiently and not allowing Navarro to get outside.
Fifth sack this year for Murdoch, and you talked about his NCAA record-setting moment a few weeks ago when he broke the forced fumbles category, most forced fumbles in a career, and ironically, he broke a Buffalo legend in Khalil Mack. After the sack, second down, it is Bangura spinning his way. The ball was popped free. It's rolling, picked up by Buffalo.
That ball is punched out by
Malin White looked like he got his hand in there, punched it away from the backside, and then scooped up by Oliver Bridges, who's in there for the injured Kobe Blackwell.
We were just talking about Red Murdoch and his propensity to create fumbles, and this time you're going to see number 12, Malin White, right there, right hand punch off the spin, and that's about as clean as you get. And that is what Buffalo needed desperately to slow down this Ohio offense and keep them off the board again.
How bizarre is this first half? It's not too often you commit 3 turnovers in a half, and yet you still lead by 2 touchdowns.
I know. Well, it just speaks volumes about how good Buffalo's defense has been, as well as the big play ability that Parker Navarro, Hendricks, and the guys have had.
So Buffalo will just try to get any type of breathing room with Shelton up the middle. Ball popped free really late, but it looked like they had blown it dead. Ohio came away with the football, but they are going to say that Shelton was down. That's Jay Crable who ended up with it.
Shelton on the carry, 4-yard gain.
Ohio wanting them to take another look upstairs at this one, and near disaster for the Bulls.
Yeah, it looked like he was down his shoulder pads. Now the lower body's actually on another player. Looks like Jake Tim.
Your Buffalo get this one snapped, and they do. So Shelton spins his way into the secondary, and he will pick up the first down up to the 15-yard line.
Give him a little breathing room. That might be enough to just take it in the locker room.
Buffalo will get the football first to start the second half after winning the toss and deferring. Pete Limbo says, let's head into the warm locker room. Let's regroup and hope for a little senior day magic in the second half. Quiet first half for Roberson, 7 of 12, 49 yards. He has the touchdown pass. Brian Smith relying on a familiar recipe of success.
Of the second quarter.
A bruising ground game, a veteran quarterback who has found his touch throwing the football, especially in the second quarter. And they rely on a hard-hitting defense, and at the intermission, 21-7, Ohio out in front of Buffalo.
It's a good half despite the 3 turnovers you just referenced from Ohio. And as we said earlier, generally whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game. Not true right here, as Buffalo with a clean game, no turnovers. However, they're still trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Brian Smith joins us. And Coach, first off, on the road today, your defense really stepping up. 3 first half turnovers, yet you lead by a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, you love how those guys are playing, and that's really been all year long. You know, we love how the energy they play with, and yeah, the unfortunate turnovers we're doing on offense, that's hurt a lot of our drives.
Coach, a big play of the first half for me was the fake punt with Jake Bruno rolling down the field. Talk a little bit about that decision.
You know, it's a play we've been working on all year long, and kind of it's been up at times and have killed it because of the look, and finally got the look that we wanted for it, and you know, just happy for Jake. Made a big play for us.
Coach, best of luck in the second half.
Okay, appreciate you guys.
Brian Smith, Ohio, out in front, 21-7, looking still for a spot in the MAC championship in Detroit. This defense setting the tone. Williams has the touchdown catch. Navarro, a couple of touchdown passes. And oh yeah, this defense. Ohio 21, Buffalo 7. We've reached halftime here in Western New York. Everybody had a chance to thaw a little, especially inside the Buffalo football room. Some of the uniforms that they have worn throughout the course of the year, and they're hoping there's some rallying in Buffalo today. They trail 21-7 as we welcome you back to UB Stadium. You take a look at the numbers, Ryan Cavanaugh. Ohio has put up 315 yards of total offense. The explosive play has been prevalent in this first half.
Yeah, before we went to halftime, I commented, how do you have 3 turnovers and you haven't taken the ball away and you're still at 14 points? But it's been a dominant defense for Ohio, and this ground game, 315 yards of total offense. They're going up and down the field. It's just these turnovers have really hurt them.
5 explosives of 20 or more yards from the Ohio offense and the special teams. Buffalo to get the football first. On the return, Terrence Shelton cut down as he crossed the 25. A flag is thrown in the vicinity of a hold, so we'll wait and see what this early laundry is all about.
During the return, holding number 4, return team. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down, Buffalo.
An offense that needs to start cooking. Taquan Roberson, 7 of 12, 49 yards. But you look at the dynamic duo at receiver with McMillan and Snow. A combined 3 catches, a combined 29 yards. That has to change in half number 2.
They're at their best when Snow and McMillan are getting the football. And both of those guys are big create after the catch type players. I look for Dave Patno, the offensive coordinator, to find a way to get these 2 guys the football.
They will stick with the ground. It has been Shelton for the majority of the carries in the first half. 8th rush of the day for Shelton. Sperling carried it twice. Very little of Al-J Henderson. 4 carries, 8 yards for Henderson, and a ground game that's having a tough time getting anything established against Ohio. They stick with it here. Back-to-back calls to number 25, the true sophomore out of Franklin High School. Good effort over the right side and a first down.
Pretty good push by the offensive line. All those guys are body on body, moving the defenders. And if Buffalo can continue to establish the line of scrimmage in that fashion, they're going to have a lot more success running the football, which will set up the pass.
Deep ball, Roberson has McMillan out there, and he makes the catch inside the 30. Finally, they are able to dial the long ball, and it's their home run hitter, Nick McMillan, trying to light a fire.
The run sets up the pass, and this time Nick McMillan just flat out beats the defender. Adonis Williams is trying to cover him, but McMillan goes right past him. It's a very simple 9 route.
47 yards, and now a patient run by Shelton over the right side as we go back to the long ball to Nick McMillan.
We've talked all afternoon about the wind and the effect it is, and when you throw the deep ball, it can tend to get hung up in the air because of that wind, but the adjustment and the body control by Nick McMillan, able to bring that in, was tremendous.
Second down, steady dose of Shelton as he will set up a 3rd and manageable. Go back to McMillan, 5 straight 100-yard games, 119, 177, 105, 122, and then he had 8 catches for 147 last week in the loss to Miami. Local guy, great story, went to Dr. Henry Wise High School. Coming off a serious injury a year ago. 3rd down and short. This is Henderson. Yards after contact. Al-J Henderson to the sideline. Touchdown. The senior bouncing it out wide. Scores from 24 yards. And how about that drive out of the locker room by Buffalo?
I'd like to know what Pete Lembo said to his team at halftime, because this is a different offense. Nice job by Al-J Henderson, but look at the block by Nick McMillan. Number 3, take a look at this block. This is one of the reasons why Henderson's able to get in the end zone. Working on Tank Pearson. You know, it's great. You just went through the stats of McMillan, what he's been able to do receiving the football in the last couple weeks. But how about the effort blocking?
Buffalo will line up, and they are going to go for 2 here. Snow in motion. Roberson looking Snow's direction. He's cut off. Now comes back the other side. Incomplete. So the Bulls rolling the die. Early two-point attempt comes up short, but the Bulls find the end zone on the run by Henderson. When Ohio and this offense is rolling, their captain is rolling. Parker Navarro certainly had it going early, the touchdown to Williams, but it was quarter number 2 that he turned it into a different gear.
And he's doing it with his feet as well as his arm. And what makes Parker Navarro so dangerous is the creativity and the willingness to break the pocket and do things on his own. And when he is in the open field, as we're seeing, he's extremely elusive, making defenders miss, yards after contact. Parker Navarro, as advertised, has been putting on a show.
A couple of touchdown passes in the first half. This one to his favorite target, Chase Hendricks, and Bobcat offense up by 8 after watching Buffalo march it down the field. We'll see what they can do. Their first touch of the football in this second half as Jack Howes tees it up. Another cold day here in Western New York. It feels like it's 12 degrees down on the stadium floor, 33 degrees here in Buffalo. Winds at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and they have been gusty, and they have been very cold coming in off Lake Erie the past couple of days. Again, they kick it to one of the upbacks, Mason Williams, as he takes it out close to the 40-yard line. And you look at Navarro in the first half. He got going in the second quarter, 7 of 13, but he was 5 of 10 throwing the football in the second quarter. A lot of his rushing yards in that quarter as well. He has the touchdown passes to both Williams and Hendricks. He had the interception on the improv shovel toss, picked off by the freshman Blackwell.
81 yards rushing last week for Parker Navarro, and he's almost there already through one half a play.
Duncan Brune starts this second half. He's the tailback behind Navarro. Bangura and Navarro leading the rushing attack with 68 as Brune slips through a little hole into the secondary, and he will take it into plus territory to the 39-yard line, 22 yards.
I don't think there's a better backup running back in the MAC than Duncan Brune. Take a look at this blocking on the edge, shed Rhodes, nice job. And Brune is just a powerhouse when he gets into the second level.
What did we talk about at halftime? The explosive play, and right out of the gate, they pick up 22 from their backup tailback, Duncan Brune. Trouble continues in the secondary for Buffalo. That's Oliver Bridges who is down. Keep in mind, they lost Kobe Blackwell earlier in the first half, their starting corner, and now his replacement, Bridges, being looked at. So they are getting thin on the back end for the Bulls on this Black Friday.
Yeah, already going deep into the cornerback room, bringing Bridges in, and now we'll see who replaces him.
Second-year transfer from Cincinnati, Oliver Bridges, the redshirt junior. Really came on strong toward the tail end of last year and started the final two games, including the bowl game. And the guy he's replacing in there, center of the screen with crutches, Kobe Blackwell. He was injured on a pass breakup in the first half. So now all eyes will be on Bridges, and all of a sudden a depleted secondary. Mikey Crawford replaces Bridges. Crawford, a redshirt freshman, hasn't seen a lot of game reps this year. See if Navarro picks up on that. First down after the run by Brune. They have it at the Buffalo 41. Following the injury, inside 12 minutes to go, just starting this second half, and they're going to go deep. 50-50 ball, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Hendricks, covered by Jalen McNair, the safety, coming over the top.
Bradley was back there as well. They closed in on Hendricks, and I believe Keontez Bradley, if he would have timed his jump better, this may have been an interception. You'll see he goes up early, and he's already on his way down. But I credit both of these teams, though, for continuing to attempt the deep pass in this wind.
And it's a crosswind. It's not a wind that's behind one of these teams, no matter what direction they're marching down the field, as Brune takes it straight up the gut to the 36, brought down by Murdoch. But it's a swirling wind that certainly is wreaking havoc with any ball that gets caught up into the air. You go back to last week, Duncan Brune, hey, all the way from Germany. This is what happens when you train with the bobsled team in the offseason. How about that?
And what an athlete. Take a look. Up and over into the end zone. Want to fire up your team? Hurdle a guy on the way into the end zone.
Brune stays in the game. He flanks Navarro to his left. Third down. They will hand it to him. And gotta believe 2 downs to get 6 yards with that play call from Brian Smith. Then a 4th and 3 coming up, a long 3. Brune's numbers today, 7 carries, 39 yards. Offense stays out on the field. Buffalo, wholesale changes on their defensive front line. Big play early on in this third quarter. Ohio 2 for 2 on the money down today. Converted both of their 4th downs. They'll try to keep perfect in that category. Hendricks in motion. Navarro feeling the heat. Hendricks wide open out in the flat, makes the catch. And a first down, and Ohio rolling the die, and they stay perfect on 4th downs.
That's because of not only the offensive line, but the blitz pickup by Duncan Brune as they brought pressure. Take a look at Brune. He's going to go cross formation, pick up the blitzer, and that gives Navarro enough time to find his #1 target, Chase Hendricks.
4th catch today for Hendricks, and a good start to this third quarter for Brune as he exits. Here comes C.A. Bangura back in. Nice drive by Ohio after watching Buffalo march it down the field. Navarro just picking and choosing. Parker Navarro takes it all the way to the 13. 12 more yards for the senior quarterback, and they are knocking at the doorstep one more time.
Look at Navarro. He wants to go to the right. Not there, and he just freezes the defender, Kobe Stewart, and then works his way back left. Beautiful job allowing his eyes to dictate where he takes the football. Slippery.
He can take over a game. That's how skilled he is. Fresh set of downs just outside the 10. Navarro with the option look for the first time. Pitches. Bangura wrestled down at the 6-yard line. That was Gonzer who came in along with Solomon Brown.
It's just a traditional drive option. Stewart takes out Navarro, so he pitches it to Bangura. Bangura working his way for a big gain on first down.
The balance of this rushing attack, and they spread it out. Navarro obviously dangerous with his legs. Bangura and Brune, the two tailbacks. An experienced offensive line as well. Second down, Navarro comes back near side, and this throw sailed on him. It looked like it was there for Rodney Harris, but that throw up and above the head of the redshirt junior.
We've talked about the wind, and this, well, it's not another deep pass, but that wind is really blowing behind Navarro, the crosswind you said, and if you don't throw the ball with enough velocity, it can carry and float high, and that's what happened right there with Navarro.
Third down and 4. They can still pick up a first down. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right. Keep an eye on the big slot. That's Mason Williams, 85 at the top. Big red zone target. They looked his direction. Navarro's going to sidestep his way to the end zone. Touchdown. Parker Navarro finds pay dirt for Ohio.
It's a designed quarterback draw. You put 4 wide receivers out, you spread out the defense, and then you just create rushing lanes, zone blocking, create some lanes, and Parker Navarro will pick and choose how he wants to get through the defense, and he does a great job of it, taking the ball into the end zone.
8th rushing touchdown this year for Navarro. A 61-yard drive for the Bobcats. Point after is up, and it is through. Well, that's how you counterpunch after watching Buffalo take it down the field. Brian Smith and the Bobcats turn to an old reliable source. Parker Navarro's been doing this for a while. Touchdown run right up the center. Ohio back up 2 scores. WWE Survivor Series is a Thanksgiving week tradition since 1987, and War Games returns Saturday night from Petco Park in San Diego. It's a stacked card highlighted by the main event, a 5-on-5 lock, 2-ring steel cage match. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar leading their teams. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Streaming on the ESPN app with the unlimited plan. Both these programs represented with the WWE Ohio, with the producer, the real magician inside the truck making everything happen, Christopher Park. And then how about Buffalo with Muhammad Hassan? Some of these linemen, they have the moves of the WWE guys. They were dancing. I don't know if they're doing it to stay warm or to celebrate that last drive.
I like it. I like the energy.
We got all types of wrestling coming up this weekend on ESPN. Not only WWE, but Sunday we go to college wrestling, the Cy-Hawk Battle on ESPN with Iowa State and Ames, Iowa.
Are you doing that?
We will be there.
Love it.
13 inches of snow expected back in Iowa, I hear, over the weekend. That time of the year. Shelton with the fair catch, and Buffalo with their second offensive series in this third quarter. And 28-13 lead for Ohio, and after defenses were flexing their muscle early, all of a sudden the offense starting to get a traction both ways.
Both teams had really nice drives to start out this second half. Now, it feels like Buffalo's offense has been on the side for 15 minutes because of the length of the Ohio's drive, but we'll see if they can continue to pick up where they left off.
Roberson was able to get the vertical shot to McMillan on the last drive as they begin from the 25, and a few flakes falling here in the last 15 minutes inside UB Stadium. They swing it out. That's a backwards pass. Making the catch is Birch, and then he is jumped on immediately and cannot get back to the original line of scrimmage. DJ Walker, who they call the quarterback of the secondary, the first one to sniff that play out.
They threw to the wide side of the field, but because of Thomason, number 22, stretching it out, Birch doesn't really have an opportunity to put his foot in the ground and get upfield. And as you mentioned, Walker coming up with a nice tackle.
This defense took a hit up front, as we described earlier. They lost some linebackers, but the back end has been solid. Roberson's going to step up, and he will throw this one away. Blanket coverage from Tank Pearson along the far side.
This offensive line's holding up in pass protection. Roberson with a lot of time. However, receivers unable to get open.
Look at the defense and the secondary for Ohio. DJ Walker, Adonis Williams, both returning starters. They went to the portal to bring in a couple of corners who have played well this year with Mack and Pearson. 3rd down and 13, play clock down to 5. Roberson against a 4-man rush will step up, look, and now he cranks it deep. Morrow has a step, and he overshot him. A missed opportunity as they were looking for Chance Morrow, and he had gotten behind the veteran secondary for the Bobcats.
Yeah, the Buffalo coaches have been very complimentary about Roberson and his ability to throw the deep ball. That time, a little bit too much on it for Morrow. It looked like Morrow slowed down a little bit in this route. Right there, it looked like he kind of throttled down. Either way, too much on it from Roberson.
3 and out for the Bulls, and now it is Drennan who's had another good day punting. This is a beauty, high spiraling kick into this gusty wind, and Victor Snow, the first one downfield, touches it. 50 yards on the punt by Drennan. 7:28 to go, third quarter. Everybody bundled up here in Western New York. big shout out to our fantastic crew here in Buffalo. Yesterday, they had their own Thanksgiving. When you can't be with family or friends, you are with your coworkers, and it's always a great time. And there are some of the faces of some brave souls. They were out yesterday, set day, getting everything prepared so we can bring you football post-Thanksgiving. And they were able to settle in, get warm, but right back out into the frigid conditions. Those are the modern day gladiators right there.
Yeah. Without them, this would not be possible.
Ohio from the 29-yard line, and this is Bangura, and this is the time of the game where you have a potent running attack, the top rushing attack in the MAC. You have an offensive line that has been intact since week 1. This is why they are a dangerous team. They work with the lead better than anybody in the country.
When you can run the football like this, it helps you when you want to close the show. You're playing keep away. Buffalo's offense stays on the sidelines, and it can be demoralizing for a defense when you can't stop a good running attack.
Might not look flashy, but when you look back, they're just picking up 5, 6, 7 yards a crack. Bangura over the left side, and he will move the chains up to the 40 and a first down. You look at this offensive line, Shedrick Rhodes at left tackle, Davion Weatherspoon at guard. They bring in Marinaro from Dartmouth at center, then Trent Allen, Jordan Jones over the right side. 387 yards of total offense, and this offensive line paving the way, 260 of those yards on the ground. The only returning starter up front from a year ago was Weatherspoon. Navarro, play action, trying to hit the back shoulder, and here comes the flag. Pretty good battle with Savion Brown and Chase Hendricks. Those two got tied up. Brown looked like he got the hands in there a little bit too much.
Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Hendricks put the brakes on in this route. You're going to see Hendricks almost a fade stop. You'll see him stop, and Savion Brown reaches out with both hands and grabs him because his momentum was taking him too far. And it's pretty easy for the official to throw that flag and make that call when he's standing like 3 feet away from it.
Brown coming back from a tough injury a year ago, tore his Achilles late in the year, went through a rigorous rehab program just to come back on the gridiron this year, and he's had a good season, the redshirt junior. A little too handsy that time, and it's first down Ohio. They have it in plus territory at the 45. Two receivers, twin set right. Navarro wants to throw back, looking for the wheel route. Bangura covered, so Navarro forced to just dump it. Good job that time by the Buffalo secondary. They wanted Bangura out of the backfield, but a couple of players shadowing him.
So this offensive line, I think they have played very well this afternoon. And when you have that much experience of playing next to each other, it creates a different level of continuity that carries you throughout the season. But it's rare for the same 5 guys to start this deep into a season every single game.
It really is. Brune gets the call, and you go back to a couple of weeks ago, there were 12 teams across FBS football that can say they had the same offensive line intact for each and every game throughout the course of the regular season. Ohio was one of those teams, and some familiar faces are back. We talked about Weatherspoon, the returning starter. Shedrick Rhodes took a path very similar to Bangura, where he was a starter for Ohio, left for a season last year to Rutgers, only to come back and really be an anchor on the left side of this offensive line. Third down and 3, and now some movement up front. Play clock was dwindling down as well.
Full start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty, third down.
That's the center, and Brian Smith knows a thing or two about offensive line play. In fact, both of these coaches back in their playing days in college were offensive linemen. Limbo for Buffalo, Navarro, and his coach, Brian Smith, he was a center at Hawaii, so he has a hands-on approach. And there is Shedrick Rhodes, who spent last year at Rutgers, watched Ohio on TV win the MAC title game, and had a big smile on his face when they won it a year ago, and he said, I want to go back there and be a part of it. Third down. They fake the pass out to the flat. There goes Navarro right up the middle, and he is deceivingly quick. You know, you watch him and it doesn't take a lot of space, but he's so patient, and then once he sees it, he commits to it.
And this is a great example of that patience here, Sean. Look, waiting, and then he decides once he sees those lanes, and you're right, it doesn't look like he has overwhelming speed, or he's really, frankly, just doing anything super special or out of the ordinary, but it's so effective and he's so good at running the football.
12 yards there for Navarro, and this is Brune, and they have found a soft spot in this defense. A double-digit yard gallop for Duncan Brune, and they are back inside the red zone.
They are leaning on this offensive line, who in turn is leaning on the defensive front for Buffalo and creating some real openings and opportunities. And you got Brune and then Navarro. Then they come back with Bangura. It's like a boxing match where you just keep getting jabbed in the face over and over and over, and it just wears you down. And I think that's what we're seeing right here from the front of Buffalo defensively.
Fresh body after fresh body. Now it's Bangura's turn to soften up the defense. First down from the 20. Navarro looking toward the end zone. Wide open, drop by Gossett. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and there was nobody close to Caleb Gossett.
Holding, offense, number 51. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Remains first down.
We're just talking about this offensive line. They're going to get Davion Weatherspoon on a hold. So it's a bit academic that Gossett wasn't able to hang on. He's the left guard, number 51, and you got Deion Crawford, the speedy linebacker, trying to work inside on Weatherspoon. And he had a little bit too much jersey out in the open.
So the penalty takes it back to the 30 now. 1st and 20 for Navarro. Quick moving third quarter. Each team has scored in this quarter. Ohio looking to add more with Bangura. So he takes it up to the 26-yard line. Ryan, you go back to this offensive line, and in particular, Davion Weatherspoon. He's an outlier in today's modern college football game. One school in 5 years for big number 51.
And what a story. He's played left guard, he's played tackle, he's back at guard now. But he was a scout team player initially, and he worked his way into the rotation. Now he's starting, and he's a captain on this team. But when you're here for 5 years, as you mentioned, an outlier in today's college football, it means a lot more to him. He spent his entire career here as a Bobcat.
Brian Smith, a big fan of his. Good job that time with the penetration up front by Buffalo. There was no hole for Bangura to find. Junior Poyser cracking his way through.
There you see Shed Rhodes, who Coach Brian Smith said is the largest pharmacist in the future. He'll be the largest pharmacist you've ever seen. That's what he's going to school for. He's 6'5", 299, and whatever prescriptions he would fill for me, I would take it just so I didn't get on the bad side of Shedrick Rhodes.
3rd down and long. 3rd and 15. Keep in mind the kicking game has not been consistent this year for Ohio, and play clock down to 2. Navarro just did get the snap off. Has time. Now pressure comes. Navarro will tuck and run. Spin his way once. Tried to spin again. Gonzer finally able to track him down. And this sets up a manageable 4th down should they keep the offense out there.
Navarro does a nice job feeling the pressure and then running. And then Oliver Bridges, good to see him back in the game. Unable to bring down Navarro. And this is one of the best spin moves in college football. Hit him with the double spin.
They will send out the field goal unit. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Ohio has only one made field goal over the last 6 games. They've only attempted 4. It's Been an inconsistent part of their game this year, and this kick sails wide and a missed opportunity. Difficult conditions to kick, and David Dellenbach slides it just wide. It's the final week of the regular season. Here's our ABC Saturday College Football Rivalry Week tripleheader. At noon Eastern, number 12 Miami Pitt square off, both with a chance to make the ACC championship game. Then 8th-ranked Oklahoma host LSU, looking for another college football playoff statement win. And then we cap off the day. It's the 90th edition of the Iron Bowl. The Tide looking to cement their playoff hopes. All 3 games available on the ESPN app. Buffalo from the 20, Roberson, he is going to go deep. Victor Snow with space makes the catch. And you're not going to catch this guy, but he stepped out of bounds. Snow, when it looked like he was in the clear, stepped out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
I'm not sure
what happened.
Me neither. You know what I initially thought is that he pulled a muscle, and that's the only reason he would dip, because there was nothing in between Victor Snow and the end zone. And he takes a left turn. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's like he lost track of where he was on the field as pounding his way up ahead goes Shelton. So they get the big play to Snow. Really his first impact play today, 58 yards. Third quarter dwindling, Buffalo inside the red zone. Roberson hands it off. Shelton, who has seen the workload of the carries in this one, very close to a first down. See if the Bulls want to try to get one more play off before the end of the quarter. Third down and a yard. Roberson will get the snap off, but no, the officials say it was late. We reached the end.
Prior to the snap, that's the end.
3 quarters in the books from Buffalo as we march to the 4th. Each of these teams hoping for some postseason magic. Buffalo needs a win. Ohio needs a win to keep their hopes alive to defend their MAC title. Top rushing team in the MAC, getting things done on the ground. 307 yards rushing for Ohio. A lot of those yards coming from their veteran quarterback, Navarro. Buffalo only 7 points off 3 Ohio turnovers. All of those turnovers coming in the first half. You look at what's at stake for these two teams. Brian Smith knows they must win and then get some help along the way to clinch a spot in the MAC championship. For Pete Limbo, he's hoping to make it to a bowl for the second straight year as the head coach. 7th time in 9 years for Buffalo as a program. Alongside Ryan Kavanaugh, Sean Kinney welcoming you back to Buffalo. A frigid Black Friday as the Bulls with something cooking to start this final stanza as they will move the chains. A first down run by Shelton. And Ryan, you look at the success for Buffalo offensively, it's been because of the explosive play for Dave Patnode. The big shot to McMillan, and then most recently the 58-yarder to Victor Snow, where it looked like he could have waltzed his way in for a touchdown, but he angled it out of bounds.
Yeah, you played your strengths, and their strength is in the wide receiver room with Snow, McMillan, Gathings.
First down, Roberson zips it near side. Pass is caught, going up and snatching it with Snow. Pushed out of bounds by Thomason.
Take a look at Victor Snow here. Just a quick out route. Very athletic catch from Snow to go upstairs and bring that in.
Shelton, the running back, and it will be Roberson on a keeper, and he will push across. Touchdown for Buffalo. Roberson using his feet, and the Bulls get right back into it.
And Buffalo giving Ohio a taste of their own medicine with the zone read, quarterback keep into the end zone. We are accustomed to watching Parker Navarro do this. It's a great read by Roberson and finishes the run with some toughness to get into the end zone. And I imagine we're going to see Buffalo go for 2 again.
Yeah, they're going to have to chase points a little bit because they missed out on a 2-point conversion earlier following their first touchdown in the third quarter. 2-point conversion. They put 3 receivers to the right. Shelton still in the backfield. Roberson looking for the fade back of the end zone, and it's broken up. Terrific play by Tank Pearson. And for the second time today, Buffalo comes up empty for 2. They were looking for Gathings, the transfer from UConn. Roberson's touchdown, though, has Buffalo believing they trail by 9 late. Daquan Roberson, his touchdown run has Buffalo within 9. However, a couple of failed two-point conversions today for Pete Limbo has them chasing on the scoreboard. Limbo, year 2, what a job he's done with this program. No surprise, he had success at Ball State. Really got that program turned around. His 5 years in Muncie, that was a program that was struggling until he arrived. Led them to 9 wins in 2012, followed up with 10 wins in 2013, and you see what he's done in his first couple of years at Buffalo, and that's the most in school history with the 14 wins, but it's all about earning the 15th win right now because that would make them bowl eligible for the 2nd straight year.
And Coach Lembo has really found a home here in Buffalo, absolutely loves it. His son is on staff with him. He's the head of player personnel. There he is. He's also the analytics guy this year. Last year's analytics guy went to the Green Bay Packers. And Coach Lembo said, well, before you go, you got to help my son out and tell him the secret sauce of how you guys work the analytics stuff. But it's a role that he's embraced. And father and son get to hang out every game day on the sidelines.
C.A. Bangura ducking his way out past the 20 to the 26-yard line. No secret, the question becomes now for Buffalo and defensive coordinator Joe Bowen, how do they script up a defense to stop this physical downhill rushing attack from Brian Smith and the Bobcats?
They've got to mix something up because right now they haven't had a solution for what Ohio's doing running the ball. And it's always difficult when you're going to run your quarterback also because that gives you an extra helmet and an extra blocker in the run game.
Navarro from the 25 over the left side, Bangura, and he is hit hard as he trucks his way up to the 27. Another tackle for Red Murdoch as he closes in on another double-digit tackle game. You talk about Murdoch and you talk about linebackers the past few years for Buffalo. Last year it was Sean Dolak, who is now having a breakout rookie campaign with the Rams, and Murdoch, who they feel might even have a higher ceiling at the next level.
Yeah, well, he physically, the stature, the size is something that's appealing to NFL coaches, whereas Dolak, undrafted free agent, may not have those same measurables.
Navarro spins it ahead to the 45. Chase Hendricks with the catch. That's a gain of 16 yards. And you look at the two linebackers that they have had in recent years, Dolak and now Red Murdoch, and both extremely coachable, according to Pete Limbo.
Yeah, he talked about the two of them. He said in common, they both have incredible work ethic, dedication to the game, and they're both willing to put in the extra time. Dolak was more of an enforcer. He said, you know, Red can be an enforcer also, but Dolak's a little bit of on a different level when it comes to that.
Bangura up ahead, snowed under as he picks up 3. Yeah, Red Murdoch, probably the biggest heart that you will find in college football. Not only is he a deliverer of the goods on the field, but off the field, he means so much to the community. You can spot him out and about around Buffalo, helping out in so many ways.
Yeah, he leads a canned food drive and is always asking players and coaches to donate them, and then he delivers them.
2nd down and 7. Murdoch in this defense hoping to generate a stop. Navarro looks on that inside slant, cushion given him. Rodney Harris makes the diving catch. That'll be into Buffalo territory, and not only does Murdoch get it done on the field, but also off the field in the classroom, and recently one of the finalists for the Distinguished Campbell Trophy. A couple of players in this game, not only Red Murdoch, but Parker Navarro, for the job that they do on the field, in the classroom, and around their respective communities.
Navarro is nearly a 4.0 student. Red Murdoch is currently a 4.0 student in the graduate program. He graduated from Buffalo in like 2 or 3 years because of all the college credits he earned while in high school.
Down the seam they go, and another drop by Caleb Gossett. Boy, he had found the hole there, and Navarro put it right on the button, but Gossett could not bring it in. There is a flag down where Navarro let it fly as well.
There is no foul for a holding. Second down.
Nice job by Navarro to slide up, climb the pocket, and second drop on the afternoon for Caleb Gossett.
Nothing real crisp when the ball hits the air. Again, that wind not as strong as we saw at kickoff, but it's still gusty, still swirling inside the stadium. We've seen winds as high as 20 to 25 miles per hour over the past couple of hours. Combine that with the frigid temperatures, and it is a Mac Black Friday today. Second down and 10. Here goes Navarro trying to sprint his way to the outside, and a good open field tackle made by Red Murdoch in space. That's not easy to do.
Not only the flags, but look at the goalpost. The uprights are shaking. And so a lot of the passes we've seen, Sean, are either underthrown or they're just coming out a little bit different, a little wobbly. And so much of that has to do with this wind.
Some of the brave folks who have endured the weather here on Senior Day trying to make some noise. Third down and 5. Ohio needs to get it to the 34. Navarro looking at a 4-man front. They go empty. That clears out the middle for Navarro, and he will pick up the first down. Boy, he is crafty with the football in his hands. He's a running back almost in the quarterback's body.
It's just so smooth and fluid. And look at the job by Weatherspoon blocking along with Nick Marinaro. And all they have to do is go man on man, and Parker will set it up, and he'll fake one side of the blocker to get the defender moving that way and then go back. But he's just so smooth, really, really athletic is Parker Navarro.
14th carry of the game, 111 yards for Navarro. Ohio 5 of 12 on third downs today. Now they will wean this clock all the way down. Navarro pressure, and this time they got him. Sacked back at the 43 by Deion Crawford, who they are hoping will be the next Red Murdoch and Sean Dolak and keep that tradition rolling.
Crawford has an extremely high ceiling. He's an excellent pass rusher, and he just beats Jordan Jones around the edge and gets in on Navarro before he has a chance to do anything about it.
Crawford has a lot of fight in him. He's kind of the enforcer this year on the defensive side of the football. He is not afraid to get up in somebody's face and practice and really push. He's been dinged up of late, second game back since returning from an injury, and he is a big part of what they do. Second down and long following the sack. Nobody open downfield. Navarro running for his life, and he will throw it away. And he took a shot late as well, and he is slow to get up.
That was
Buffalo player down as well, Ryan.
Yeah, that's I think that's Crawford, but take a look at Deion Crawford. Almost gets another one, and then as Navarro throws it, he leaves his feet, and Kobe Stewart comes in and lays a hit on Parker Navarro.
Injury timeout. We were just talking about Deion Crawford and his health. This is a guy they need in there. Hopefully just knock the wind out of himself when he landed on this hard turf. It's pretty unforgiving. And you wonder, as Navarro took the shot from Stewart,
he's under review,
if there might be targeting involved. And as we just heard from our referee, Billy D. Williams, they are going to take a look upstairs at it.
Absolutely, it's going to be this hit right here. And I don't think there was helmet-to-helmet contact there.
It's a big call, big look upstairs. We'll take a break as they sort it all out. We'll have the verdict when we come back on the other side. Ohio by 9 late in this fourth quarter. A booth-initiated review upstairs from Harold Betty. Kobe Stewart, Parker Navarro, was it targeting or not? They say no targeting as we take another look at it. And a pretty easy call and look at this one as you see the shot that Navarro took.
And in fact, as you see the hit, Stewart was kind of pulling back. He didn't wrap him up, he didn't drive through him, but certainly no helmet-to-helmet contact, and I think they got it right.
Kobe Stewart inching his way closer, ascending up the Buffalo ranks for career sacks, top 10 in that category throughout his career. The fifth-year senior who started at Samford before becoming a fixture on the defensive line. Really had a good season last year, one of the MAC leaders in sacks. Led the conference with 9.5. Not the type of production from a year ago, but still very strong up front defensively. Third down and long, 3rd and 18 for Navarro. Buffalo runs a stunt. They drop 7 into coverage. Navarro with a lot of work to do, and he won't get there. He will bail out. Greer was about to pop him, and smart play there by Navarro as the sun starts to crack down among the Buffalo clouds here, and a 4th down for the Bobcats.
And they're going to bring the punting unit out. That time, Navarro, as you pointed out, long way to go to convert. But if he got half of it back, I could have seen Ohio going for it on 4th and reasonable. Certainly 4th and 15. Protect the 9-point lead, punt the ball away, put that very talented defense back on the field.
Magnus Haynes will do his best to try to pin Buffalo deep. This one inside the 5. And how about that for Ohio with the special teams? Touchdown at the 1. It's a masterpiece from Haynes. 39 yards on the punt. Kick off your Week 13 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game leading all the way up to kickoff. Well, you look back at the course of this football game, Ryan, you get to the championship month of November and then into December. Oftentimes special teams the decider for Ohio. They have the fake punt, which goes for 49 yards in the first half, and now Magnus Haynes pinning Buffalo deep in the shadows of their own end.
Credit Blake Guffey for getting down there and covering it up at the 1.
Trying to get out of there and finding a little bit of a crevice at the last second. Taryn Shelton, not much though, as Cameron Hollaball was right there.
Whenever you're going into the red zone towards the goal line or you're coming out, the playbook shrinks. So right now, some more limited options here because you want to make sure you get out of the end zone.
Ohio brings up their big 225-pound safety to the line of scrimmage. Roberson throwing from the back of his end zone, and it whistles incomplete. Looking for Snow, and it's 3rd down. Limbo knows he's running out of time. Down 9, in essence, a 2-possession game for the Bulls. 99 yards from where they need to be. 3rd down and 10. 3-man rush. Again, they keep a spy, dumping it out of the backfield. This is Shelton, and like we have seen him do on a couple of occasions today, initial contact not bringing him down, and his 2nd and 3rd effort will move the chains. A 1st down.
That's an excellent individual effort by Shelton. You know, Coach Lembo calls him a complete back, and he shows here that he can catch the ball and then use his strength to muscle for the 1st down.
Roberson hangs in the pocket, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kendall Bannister, and Bannister takes it to the Buffalo 18. We started the show with the untimely turnover for Buffalo. They have been so good with the football today, but they cough it up for the first time.
It's hard. I couldn't tell if he was trying to get it to McMillan. It looks like he just airmailed it to McMillan.
Interception by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 98 intercepted the team. 15-yard penalty for the end of the play. First down.
So got an unsportsmanlike call, so that's going to move Ohio back 15. But Bannister, the ball was thrown right to him. It looked like it was in between McMillan and Snow. But the first mistake, real big mistake for Buffalo, turning the ball over.
First interception today for Roberson, but the 12th pick of the year. And now Ohio in great starting shape with a little more than 7 minutes to go.
With the offense of Ohio and running the football the way they are, Buffalo could not afford to do what they just did.
Navarro will hand the ball off. Duncan Brune falling ahead for a yard or two. It's really a unique story with Brune. When he was 12 years old, he was invited to hang out in a football practice while growing up in Cologne, Germany. It was an American football practice, which is very rare over there. He loved it. He ran home, could not wait to tell his parents about it. So his parents found him an American football clinic, and the closest city was some 40 miles away. So they would make the commute each and every day just so he could learn about this sport. Navarro on the move. He is rolling right. He will throw it underneath to Jake Bruno, and that one goes through his fingers, incomplete.
Going back to Brune, you literally could say it was love at first sight between him and the sport of football.
It really was. All the way over across the seas. Again, he grew up in a town. There's around 400,000 people in his hometown. The majority are soccer or hockey players, bobsled. They have 5 schools in one city. He was the only guy playing football. Here he is, Athens, Ohio, and really has had a good season backing up C.A. Bangura. 3rd down and 9. Navarro. Time now under pressure. Dodges one, dodges another, keeps his balance, avoids a third, and Navarro is going to pick up the first down. My goodness, what a run, the competitive fire for Parker Navarro.
It's just really incredible. The escapability right here, and then the ability to make people miss and avoid them. He keeps his balance. Coaches this week for Ohio were talking about his competitiveness. He hates to not win. He hates to not succeed.
First down. The previous play is under review.
And you could see it. It's palpable. It comes through with how he runs the football. Just an absolute unhappiness at being tackled.
He grew up, he loved watching Drew Brees. He's a fan of both the Saints and the Cardinals. We talked about his background growing up in Tempe, Arizona. Taking a look upstairs, reviewing the spot on that last play for Navarro, if he indeed reached the line to gain. As we take another look at the magic he can pull off with his legs.
Offense coordinator Scott Ishfording, when I asked him who he would compare him to, he gave me a couple names, different eras. Fran Tarkington, and he said he's got a little Johnny Manziel in him as well. What do you think about that, Sean?
Boy, those are 2 different eras like you talked about. That is covering it.
Yeah.
He had a little Johnny Manziel on that last scramble we just saw that they are taking a look at.
Yeah, I could see it.
Filed a petition just a few days ago to get his 7th year of eligibility. Entering today, top 6 all-time in career passing yards, but today, and like he has over the past 2 years, so much of the damage inflicted on the ground.
After review, the ruling on the field of a first down is upheld.
So no change on the mark where they ruled him down. So Navarro will pick up the first down, and Ohio has it just outside the red zone, sitting in a real good position. 330 yards today for an offense coming in that led the MAC in that category, averaging 216. Buffalo has had no answer.
In the last 3 weeks, Parker Navarro now has 307 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns.
Eleven personnel with the tight end to the left. Lowering the pads, Bruin, as he goes into the pile, powering his way to the 18.
Timeout. Buffalo. First, 30 seconds.
Buffalo is going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. We'll take one with them. 5:33 to go. Ohio inching a little bit closer. Long way from home on the road today. Parker Navarro and his 121 rushing yards, the most he's had this season on the ground, leading a potent offense that has put up close to 500 yards of total offense, 480 right now. Buffalo using the first of their 3 timeouts. Navarro's second down. Inside the Bowl red zone, this will be the handoff to Duncan Bruin, and Bruin takes it to the 15. Tackled on the play by Deion Crawford, and Buffalo will use another timeout.
Timeout. Buffalo, their second. It'll be 30 seconds in length. Please set the clock to 5 minutes, 30 seconds.
An Ohio program that became bowl eligible earlier this year, 4th straight year that they will be heading to a bowl game, and they were the first team in the MAC to be bowl eligible. And this is a big statement sent by Ohio today if they can finish over the next 5.5 minutes, because they have struggled away from home. They have went unbeaten at home the last 2 years, 12-0, but on the road has been a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, only 4-7 over the last 2 years. And in this conference, the home team has won the majority of the games. It's been very difficult this year for teams to go on the road and come away with wins, and that certainly has been the story for Ohio. And they're going to look back at their loss earlier in the year to Ball State in Muncie as the difference perhaps between them being in the MAC championship or not.
Yeah, that was a game they let slip away. They had things going at halftime, only to see Kyle Kelly and Ball State pull off the second half rally. 3rd down and 4. They need to get it to the 11. Buffalo hoping to get a stop here. Trips to the right. Navarro to that direction. Slant, a little low, and it's incomplete. Chase Hendricks, who normally catches anything within an arm's reach, and that one just wiggle through the fingertips, and that'll stop the clock at a 4th down. And here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, the pass is a little low. This is just a delayed slant. And a little bit low. Hendricks went down to get it. Still, that's a ball he typically will catch. They're going to bring out the field goal unit. It's also interesting because Pete Lembo and Buffalo used 2 of their timeouts. And by throwing the football, it allowed them to hang on to one of their final remaining timeout.
Dellenbach, who missed earlier in this half, this one from 33, plenty of leg, and he drills it.
Well, I think he got an assist from the wind on this one, Sean, because this ball is going left, and it hooks right into the uprights. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, though, and say that he planned it that way. He played the wind.
That's a curveball coming off the toe.
Take a look at this. Where's this ball headed? It's left, and then it comes back right.
Yeah, that's just playing the wind. You're a golfer. You're out on that course. You play the wind a little bit, and perfect slice. It ended up there for Dellenbach. As we take a look at the MAC scoreboard from this Thanksgiving weekend, congratulations, Western Michigan. They won on Tuesday 31-21, but look at Kent State. They go to DeKalb and they knock off Northern Illinois 35-31. A huge win for Coach Carney and the Flash.
Incredible what Coach Carney's been able to do this year, but that eliminates Ohio from a possibility of going to Detroit next weekend. So I don't know if the players know that yet, but that they needed some help from a few different teams, Ball State, Central Michigan, and Northern Illinois. And Northern Illinois was not able to protect home field. But all the credit to Kent State. What a turnaround.
Yeah, we talked about it was a long shot coming into this week for Ohio, with Western Michigan winning on Tuesday. 4 teams in the fray for that final spot to take on the Broncos in Detroit. Ohio with just a 5% chance of reaching the final. They had to have a lot of parts fall into place, and Kent State certainly blows up that party.
Well, the consolation is that they are bowl eligible. So for these seniors, they're going to get another game. However, for Buffalo, they're going to have to turn it around pretty quick here. Down 12, 5.5 minutes to go. They need a win to get another game in a bowl for their seniors.
They bring a blitz off the edge with Thomason. It's picked up. Roberson now will tuck and run. 35, Roberson falling ahead to the 42-yard line as he rushes for 9. Brought down on the play by Mikel Williams. And you will see an urgency now with the Buffalo offense as they get lined up quickly. 2nd and 2. Again, pressure up the middle. Roberson fields it, dumps it off. And this will be a 1st down catch out of the backfield. Shelton to the 46.
Nice job by Roberson, sliding up in the pocket, dumping it off to Shelton. And you'll see the pressure here. This offensive line has done a nice job pass protecting.
Sideline throw, making the catch, and then staying in bounds. McMillan high-stepping his way, tight roping along the far side as he closes in on another 100-yard day. 28 more yards for Nick McMillan.
Yeah, in my head, I was thinking, get out of bounds, save the time. But Nick McMillan knew what he was doing. Turns inside up the field, and Buffalo's rolling.
Keep in mind, Buffalo has been the cardiac kids this year. They have been involved in a lot of close games. Roberson dumped, sacked back at the 29 by Lukeman.
Lukeman, Crable, the bookends for Ohio. They put so much pressure on a quarterback. We've already seen Crable make an impact. It was only a matter of time before Nas Lukeman
would do the same, and there he was.
Second down, they drop 8 into coverage. Roberson will shovel it up ahead, making the catch, and then turning upfield to the 5. Touchdown! Buffalo gets the quick score. Gaithings, like he was shot out of a cannon once he made the catch, and there was no catching up with the UConn transfer.
Nonchalant little dump off by Roberson. And you said it best, partner. Gaithings hit the jets and blew past the entire defense backfield for Ohio and into the end zone. And that was a very quick, very effective scoring drive for Buffalo to keep them in this game.
67-yard drive. Roberson, the long connection to McMillan, and then the improvisation finding Gaithings, and Jack Howes adds the point after. 5 plays, 67 yards. Key number, Ryan, just a minute 37 off the game clock.
Sure is. Take a look at this one more time. Roberson does a nice job as he's rolling to his right to come back and checks it down to Gaithings. And the afterburners from Gaithings into the end zone. And you said the key number is the very limited time that came off the clock, Sean. Another number I'm looking at is this 31-26. You go back 2 two-point conversions that were missed. And if that hadn't happened, we would be looking at potentially a field goal game.
Good use of the timeouts by Limbo as well on their last defensive set. They had to use a couple of timeouts. They get the football back to Roberson, and he leads them down the field. And a concerned look for Brian Smith. His defense had played so well, and just like that, in a game that you get the feeling it should be a 2-3 score lead for Ohio, it's Buffalo right there at the cusp of it. They've been climbing up this hill all game long.
I agree. It has that feeling, and part of it is because Buffalo has really used the quick strikes and the big plays to put their points on the board, whereas Ohio, with longer methodical drives, their offense has been on the field so much more in this game.
They will kick it deep. Ohio making sure they did. They were weary of the onside attempt. And you mentioned the 2-point conversions. Buffalo elected to roll the die early. After scoring their first touchdown, they tried to get the 2, and they end up 0 for 2 going for 2 today.
Yeah, and these were big. See, first they're just trying to get it to the route. That's where McMillan was open in the back, and this was just great coverage by Tank Pearson. But those points are looming large right now.
Pete Limbo, 1 timeout to use, plus the 2-minute timeout. 3:47 to go. A little Black Friday action from Western New York today. Great to have you with us on this Thanksgiving weekend holiday. First down, hitting the hole with a head of steam is Bangura. He torpedoes his way up ahead for 2, and let's see if Buffalo uses their final timeout.
Timeout. Buffalo, their third and final. It'll be 30 seconds left.
Well, let's talk Joe Bowen and the Buffalo defense, Ryan. This is a tough chore. You have the top rushing attack in the MAC. They have unleashed a 336-yard rushing attack, and now you have to dial up a stop. Our Week 13 Monday Night Football matchup, Drake May and the AFC leading Patriots, winners of 9 straight, host Brian Burns and the Giants, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app with Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with NFL Live at 3 Eastern, then Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern.
We're going to see if Buffalo elects to dial up some pressure here, Sean, blitzing the run, because the base defense right now has not been able to get Ohio off the field.
Second down and 7. They have 7 in the box, and they will hand the ball off, and a good job by the Bulls. But again, they stop them initially, and you see the strength that Bangura has. And part of that is strength, and part of that is he's pretty fresh because they have rotated the backs very effectively today. The 1-2 punch of Brune and Sige Bangura, and then you throw in the legs of Navarro.
Yeah, that's a really good observation because last drive was primarily Duncan Brune. So now Bangura comes in, fresh legs. Both of these backs, though, whichever one's in there, the defense doesn't get a break. They're physical, hard-running running backs.
They put 2 receivers to the right, and the play clock dwindling down. Navarro will call a timeout.
Ohio, they're first. Be 30 seconds of life.
You got to believe you have the MVP from the MAC championship a year ago, the 2-year starter, 2-year captain. This important third down play will involve his read and how he handles, whether he hands it off or keeps it himself.
I think you're right. That's what I would do personally. We've seen Ohio do it over and over this afternoon on third down. But what they'll do is they'll take a defender and put him in conflict where they don't need to block him. You put the ball in the stomach of Bangura, and whatever that defender, if he wants to take Bangura, Navarro keeps it. And if he doesn't take Bangura, Bangura goes for the first down. At least that's how it's drawn up. But I would expect to see something very similar because we've seen it so many times this afternoon on third down.
Well, the play of the game right now, Buffalo needs a stop. They have no timeouts remaining. They still have the 2-minute timeout. 3rd down and 3. 9 in the box this time for Buffalo. Man on man up front. It will be Navarro handing the ball off, and look at Bangura go. Just following the right side of his offensive line. Trent Allen, Jordan Jones, and a first down run for Bangura. The top rushing attack in the MAC one more time doing their thing.
And this is what we just spoke about. You're going to see Navarro and Deion Crawford is out on the outside, and he stays where he was, which means you give it to Bangura, and he pushes ahead for first down yardage. Buffalo unable to stop the clock other than the 2-minute timeout.
Navarro will keep it on the ground, and this will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Ryan Smith has to be proud of his offensive line today. Tough situation with the weather, a good opponent in Buffalo, but they are getting the job done late here in the state of New York. Welcome back to Buffalo. 2-minute timeout, 31-26 Ohio, and the candle stays lit for Ohio. We have found out from our MAC officials that the glimmer of hope still exists, even with the Kent State win at Northern Illinois. 2 more games tomorrow: Ball State, Miami, Toledo, and Central Michigan. So yes, there is still a little bit of hope for the boys from Athens.
Yeah, the PR staff for Ohio actually spoke to the MAC and confirmed that they are still alive. So assuming they're able to hang on and pull out a win here, the Bobcats are going to have quite the watch party tomorrow, with all eyes on Miami, Ball State, and of course Central Michigan and Toledo.
So we focus in on the present right now for Buffalo. Another 3rd down opportunity to get off the field. If they don't get the stop here, that would be it for the Bulls. So it comes down to this 3rd down play. They cannot stop the clock. Pete Limbo trying to fire up his sideline. 3rd down and 4. Ohio needs to get it right to midfield. Out of the pistol, Bangura behind Navarro. He will put Bruno, the tight end, in motion. They will go up the center with it, and Buffalo gets the stop. 2 hard-fought yards for Bangura. And now Ohio will let this play clock wind down, and by the time Buffalo gets the football, you're looking right around 25, 26 seconds to go in this game.
And how much faith does Brian Smith have in his offensive line? Does he roll the dice and run it on 4th and 2 at midfield, or does he send out the punt team?
I vote for option B if it was me.
Yes.
And I'm an old offensive lineman. But
Right.
This would be the time to punt the football, and Smith will let the clock wind down. He will call the timeout, and what we expect to see the punting unit come out there. Pete Limbo would have loved to have got that 3rd down stop before the 2-minute timeout, but they did not. So 4th and 2, and some decisions over on the Ohio sideline right now.
It would not surprise me if Ohio came back out with their offense and they gave the ball to C.A. Bangura, and they run the same read play, the zone read, where Navarro has an option to keep it or go. And as I say that, here comes the punting unit.
Field position just too precious to risk giving up. Coach Kavanaugh, the special teams coach, and they have been pivotal today. The fake punt in the first half. We saw Haynes deliver a punt in the second half beautifully down to the 1-yard line, and they are going to ask Peacock and this group to do it again. Magnus Haynes out there. This kick spiraling toward Victor Snow, who's going to have a chance. Snow on the return from the 10, and he is walloped right there. Good special teams coverage downfield. A punt of 45 yards. Buffalo with no timeouts, and they have quite a long way to go. Can they find some magic here on Senior Day in the regular season finale?
Ohio's going to come out into a prevent defense and fill the field with defensive backs. Now, Buffalo does have big-time playmakers. We just saw Victor Snow, and again, Nick McMillan. There's Coach Hauser, defensive coordinator, who's done such a great job all season, but his defense has been very good today.
Roberson, over the middle they go, and it is, let's see, was the juggling catch made? It was. They say first down, clock will stop as they move the chains up to the 28. Roberson does a good job getting everybody lined up, and there's the quick spike.
Those 2 plays took 7 seconds. What they want to do, somehow Victor Snow brings that in. What they want to do, though, is complete another pass to get to near midfield, and that way Roberson will have a shot at throwing the ball into the end zone on a Hail Mary to end the game.
And with this wind, who knows? When that ball hits to the air, it could land, your guess as good as mine, anywhere. First down, Roberson, pressure comes, he'll roll right. Keeps his eyes downfield, looking for Gaithings. Good coverage on the play by J.T. Haskins. And now with 7 seconds, trouble brewing for Buffalo.
For context, that play took 6 seconds. But you'd have to get the ball to a sideline and stop it. I don't know if they'll have time to go up and spike it, even if they do get a first down and the clock momentarily stops.
Look maybe for a hook and ladder, something along those lines. Ohio has 4 defenders 40 yards off the football. Roberson over the middle fires and it's dropped. He was looking for Gaithens, and barring a defensive penalty, it comes down to this final play.
Nice pass by Roberson. Just went right through the hands of Gaithens. And Ohio now has moved 4 players back to their own 25. Only rushing 2.
Buffalo team that has won some nail biters throughout the course of the season. They will look to pull off their biggest magic trick of the year right now as they throw over the middle. McMillan makes the catch and he is tackled there, and that is going to be it. JT Haskins puts the finishing touches on this one, and Ohio keeps their Slim Mac Championship hopes alive as they win on the road. 31-26, your final score. A 506-yard offensive effort by the Bobcats, 359 of those coming on the ground.
They are really hitting their stride. They're peaking at the right time, especially on the offensive side of the ball. As we take a look at the updated standings, so much parity, Sean. 6-2 Ohio, and again, we talked about it, Miami, Central Michigan, Toledo, all playing tomorrow, and all those teams have a chance of meeting Western Michigan at Ford Field next weekend for the MAC championship.
Buffalo comes up just short, hitting the 6-win total. The Bulls close out their year with a record of 5-7. 31-26, Ohio victorious. For Ryan Kavanaugh, our fantastic crew from Buffalo, this is Sean Kinney saying so long from Western New York. The Bobcats prevail, 31-26, the final. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from Buffalo.